Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Zion Aesthetic, and today I am back doing another palette pageant review. This is the only series that I have started on my channel, and it's definitely the type of video that I put out the most, at least at this point in time. I have been recording a lot more get ready with me style videos, but I just haven't really been editing or uploading those as frequently. I just really like informing you guys about palettes, and so that's generally what I've been doing. This palette that I'm going to talk to you guys about today is the brand new Grav3yardgirl Swamp Queen Palette. This is in collaboration with Tarte. Grav3yardgirl is a YouTuber here on YouTube. She's not... It's hard to define what she is. She's not exactly a beauty guru, but she does do a lot of makeup themed videos, especially of late, but she has had a YouTube for forever, just doing all sorts of different things. She used to watch those infomercials where they would try to sell you something and she would buy it and see if it actually worked, and that's how she got a lot of her following. And then as she aged and developed, she kind of became more interested in makeup and started making more videos based around makeup, and eventually got a collaboration with a pretty renowned makeup company. I love Tarte. I actually have never used any eyeshadows from them before until now, but I have used a bunch of their other products and I've really enjoyed them. I am also wearing a darker lip today than I have ever worn in my entire life. It is the Jeffree Star Unicorn Blood, and I just got this the other day when he restocked. I'm very excited. I didn't have any of the Jeffree Star liquid lipsticks either, so I just ordered another one, Androgyny, and I also have Rose Madder up there, so I'll probably be doing some sort of review on that at some point, but I just wanted to let you know. I know it definitely doesn't look how I normally look, but I wanted to give it a try, and it's all over my thumb, apparently. I will clean that off and get back to you. After I do that, we will look in this palette and see what it's all about. So, if you are interested in seeing and learning about what is in the Grav3yardgirl Swamp Queen palette, stay tuned. So this palette actually had a really unique release dates type thing going on. I've never seen this before in any sort of makeup product. They usually just have a release date and it happens at that time, or they sometimes will have a pre-sale and a release date. This one is literally staggered all over the place. It was first released as a pre-sale on Tarte.com, and that went instantly, which everyone knew it would. That was on, I think, the 6th. Then they were supposed to roll out into the other places. They went on to Sephora Online, and Ulta Online, and Macy's, and all these different places, and all on different days, which is really interesting to me. You actually had to watch the specific day for your specific preferred way of purchasing. In store, it was supposed to be Sephora on July 8th, Ulta on July 10th, Macy's on July 15th, and everywhere else on July 18th. So 4 different dates to be released in store, but that apparently is no longer the case. I don't know whether some of those are still true and some of them aren't. All I know is that Ulta was supposed to be on July 10th, and they actually moved it forward like 13 days to June 27th. And so a lot of people missed their chance to get it from Ulta because everyone was under the impression, even Bunny, who is Grav3yardgirl, she goes by Bunny. I don't know if it's her real name, but that's what she goes by. And she didn't even know. She was under the impression that it was still July 10th. And then she realized, waking up on June 27th, oh shit, how did this happen? They've already been in store at Ulta, and they're probably already sold out, because these have been selling out like that. Anyway, aside from all of those releasing troubles, this palette retails for $45, and it has an array of different products in it. It has 1 blush, 1 bronzer, 1 highlight, and 9 eyeshadows. The packaging is really unique. I really like it. It's very pretty. It's like rustic looking. It looks like real wood grain on the front and the back, and while it is made out of cardboard, it feels very sturdy, so you can pretend it's wood. She said she wanted the aesthetic to kind of be like a western-y feel, like an antique feel, like 1800s shipping crates. Not like yeehaw cowboy western, but very like old rustic feeling. And I think she definitely did achieve that with the wood grain. I mean, it definitely looks very shipping crate. She specifically mentioned a shipping crate, and it really does look like an old school shipping crate. So that, I think, is really cool. The front has, obviously, Tarte, the brand, her name, and the name of the palette, and then it also has this winged alligator down here. That is like her thing. Every time she ends a video, she says, give this video a thumbs up and give another alligator its wings. That's just like what she's into. She loves alligators and obviously loves alligators with wings. The makeup artists and beauty bloggers who received this before it was released anywhere as PR got this really cute winged alligator stuffy. I think it was winged. It might have just been an alligator, but I'm pretty sure it was winged. Like a stuffed animal, and it was just wrapped in this really cool box, and it was just this really, really cute, this whole package. She's really thought it out well, and I think it looks really, really nice. This is not the only thing in her collaboration with Tarte. She also released 2 lippy sticks, or I think they're called lip paints officially. They are liquid lipsticks that dry down to a matte. She had one that was called Swamp Family, which makes sense. That's what her followers are called. And that one was like a bright, intense blue-red, just like a straight, classic red lipstick. And that one was only available on Tarte.com on the online sale. And after that, that was it. That was your chance to get it. That was it. She also released another one called Texas Toast, which is more in my color range anyway. I can't wear blue reds because of the olive undertones in my skin, but that one is more of like a neutrally beige, nudish color, and that one will be released in stores, I think, as well as the palette. I think the only part of her collection that was only an online exclusive was the Swamp Family Lippy Stick. When you first open this palette, the inside is all this gold material. I'm not even sure what it is. I guess it's just plastic, but it definitely feels really sturdy, and it looks so luxurious with the gold there. It just looks so shiny and nice. She has this brush down on the bottom, which is a decent looking brush. It's definitely made for packing as opposed to like crease work and detail work, but I think it does its job. I mean, she talks about how she wanted to include this brush specifically because she wanted a tool for people who are just getting into makeup to have a brush that they could use with this palette, and one that was kind of just a basic brush. I have not used a Tarte brush before. I did use this today when I did my look using this palette, and it was okay to use. I did have to use a couple of my other brushes to blend everything together and to get in my crease, but other than that, it looked pretty nice. She also has a giant mirror up here, which is one of my favorite parts. I love palettes with huge mirrors. The only thing that would have been cool, which isn't normal, so I wasn't expecting it or anything, but I do love it when mirrors can stay up as opposed to just being this floppiness. But it's such a huge mirror, and you can lean it up against something that it makes it worthwhile anyway. At the top is a little quote that she came up with a while ago. It says, "Believe in yourself, love yourself, embrace your individuality." Now, I don't know how many of you know Bunny. I'm sure a fair amount of you do. If you are watching me on YouTube, you probably also watch more well-known beauty bloggers, but she is probably one of the most individualistic people that I've ever seen. I don't know personally, obviously, but she is just so unabashedly proud of who she is, and she's so unique, and she's so loud and boisterous and awesome, and she just does not care what anyone thinks, and she just loves the fact that she is an individual and that everyone is an individual, and so she wanted that to be on the palette with her name. These colors in here are just so amazing. You can see it kind of ranges. She has a lot of nudes and purples and like browns. It's definitely not a really intense, oh my gosh, that belongs on Instagram instantly type of palette, which I kind of like. It's like, I love my palettes that are bright and intense, like my Jeffree Star Beauty Killer palette, and I can pop some amazing colors on there, but I also like palettes that are very wearable, and I really, really, really like this one. I actually wasn't going to get this one originally, and then when I re-looked at the colors, I was just like, ugh, I need it, because it is like a very wearable, slightly neutrally palette, but it's not just neutrals. It's not just beiges and browns and tans. She said she also wanted to create a palette that would go well with other eyeshadows that you may have, and so you can use these colors interchangeably with other colors. First, I am going to start over here on this side with these big pans. These are the face products. She has the bronzer, the blush, and the highlight. The bronzer is called Sweet Tea. She drinks a ton of sweet tea on her channel. She loves sweet tea. She always talks about how it stains her teeth. So I think that's why she named this product Sweet Tea. She also talked about, for this palette, how much she wanted to include shimmer in it. Not like sparkle, but she was releasing it right in time for summer, and so she really wanted that glowiness to happen. She didn't want it to just be a matte eyeshadow palette. And so all of these over here, all of these face products are pretty classic. That's like a classic bronzer, a classic blush, and a classic highlight, but all infused with a gold shimmer, and that's what makes them unique. It's not just a bronzer, it's a bronzer with a gold shimmer. And so I'm gonna swatch that bronze for you guys. I like that it has that gold shimmer in it, but it's not too shimmery, so it's not like gonna be blocks of shimmer on the upper cheeks or around your forehead or any of the places you apply bronzer. It's definitely this very nice color. The next one is this blush, which she called Does This Thing Really Work? It is slightly darker, a little mauve-y. It's very, very pretty. I did use a little bit of this right here on my cheeks today, and I do really like the way it came out. It is not as shimmery as I thought it was going to be, which I'm very happy about. Like with the bronzer, it's just the right amount of shimmer to add a little something something without being too intense and in your face. So that is Does This Thing Really Work? The last face product is this one down here. This one is called Gator Wings. If you can't already figure out why, then probably go watch one of her videos or go back to the beginning of mine, because I talk about how much she loves gators with wings. She decided to name the highlight Gator Wings because she says when she thinks about gator wings, she thinks about like angelic style wings, very shimmery. This is a very intense highlighter. It almost reminds me of Moonstone by Becca, the Shimmering Skin Perfector, but it is a little different. It's a little more gold, and it's a little less finely milled. And that's the reason why I love, love, love Becca highlighters more than probably any other highlighters, more than my Anastasia Glow Kit even, is because of how finely milled the powder is. It just blends so well into your skin that it looks natural. This definitely doesn't look quite as natural as the Becca, but it has a similar color, and it's that like champagne pearl with like a hint of gold. And I really, really, really enjoy that. I did use this today as well, right here on the tops of my cheekbones and down the tip of my nose. I really enjoy the way it came out. I definitely don't think it's too intense, but if you're really not into highlighting in general, I would probably go with one that's a little less pigmented and less sparkly. Now for the eyeshadows, I'm going to try to fit as many of these on the back of my hand as I can. I just cleaned off these swatches from the face, so we'll see how well I do. I may need to stop in the middle and go wash my hand off again, but we will start up here and just do rows, I guess. This one right up here is called hashtag SFS. I'm really honestly not sure what the last S stands for. I saw it at one point and I was like, gotta remember that, but I don't. The first SF is Swamp Family and then something. I'm not sure if it's Swamp Family Secrets. That seems like it would be right, but I don't remember exactly. So don't hold it against me. I will probably figure it out. If I do, maybe I'll include it in the description bar. If not, we can live with it, I think. I hope you guys can. Anyway, it's right here, It is this rose gold. She said she wanted this over here as like a good base. It has a light shimmer, but it's not too much that it's gonna like create a shimmery eye all over. You can still kind of use it to just lighten up and to get a good look. I think looking at this palette, she kind of went with that idea in general. These three over here definitely seem like they would make good bases, whereas these ones are good like packing and crease colors, and then these ones are just the really dark colors that are good for emphasizing that outer V or the crease, depending on how smoky you want to go. And they seem to kind of go together too, like you could make a look there, you could make a look there, or you could make a look there. I interchanged them all today, but I think it is really neat that she did it that way. That is that color right there. It definitely reflects really nicely. I did use a skosh of this right in the inner corner near the tear duct today on top of another color, but it definitely has this really pretty rose gold sheen. The next color over is Natural Peaches. That one, did I just dig my fingernail? No, we're good. Okay. That one is obviously a peach color. She wanted this as a good transition color. It is a matte. She does not have too many mattes in this palette. I only see 3 total, including the face products, and it is one of the mattes. This one I did use as my transition today, and I really liked it. I love peach undertoned things. They just go really well with my skin tone, but also in general, I just think they're very pretty. And this one doesn't show up super well swatching it on my hand, but you can still definitely get the idea. It is right there. Underneath this one is that hashtag SFS, and this one is Natural Peaches. The last color on the top row is a fan favorite. I think it is the fan favorite. Everybody who has gotten this palette has said, this is my favorite color in this palette. This is the reason why this palette is so much better than everything, blah blah blah. It is definitely a very pretty color. It is called Dogman. It's this color up here. It's almost like an orangey color. She said she picked this color because it is the exact orange that she likes to wear when she's doing a bold eye. I kind of did a similar orangey bold look today using Dogman, and I did really enjoy it. I used this as my transition color actually, even though it's very dark, but it still came out very nice. I definitely don't think that it was too dark. It still worked, and I think it's really pretty. It also has a little bit of a shimmer in it. Gold, just like all the shimmer. I don't think she has any shimmer in here other than gold shimmer, but that's okay because it is summer and gold is great for summer. I'm going to swatch this underneath Natural Peaches, if I can find a finger that I haven't used. Oof. This one is very pigmented. This one I know you guys can see. This one is right here. I really like the specific style of orange it is. It almost looks like a kind of wood, which I guess goes really well with her rustic sort of feel of this palette, but I think it's just gorgeous. I'm definitely going to be coming back to this shade again and again. Alright, now on the next row, with the slightly more brown color scheme, we start with Big Baby over here. This is named Big Baby because she collects dolls. She's an avid doll collector, and she picked this color because she thought that it was a good representation of doll skin, of the actual skin color of the plastic that they use when they make dolls. And I can see it. It's definitely like an off-white with like a slight pink hint, and that definitely makes sense to me as being a doll color. I personally haven't had a huge experience with dolls. Dolls used to scare me when I was younger, and so I never really got too into them, but just picturing in my head, it definitely seems like a good shade for doll skin. It is this one right here, underneath that orange. It's definitely the lightest color in this palette. It almost looks like a white, but it's just a little off-white and a little bit of pink. I used that as a base today before I put any of the shadows on to help them blend, and it definitely worked well for that. Now, this next one is what I did my entire lids with today. Just First opening it up, first looking, this was my favorite. I am a sucker for gold. I have always been a sucker for gold, which is another reason why I really liked the interior packaging of this whole palette in general. But this color is called Sassy Bun. It's this center color right here. She said this is her favorite color of hair and the color she got her hair when she finally got it right. And then she just threw a bunch of metallic sparkle in it, which is pretty cool. I like her thought process behind these colors. They're definitely very interesting and unique. I like the story that comes with them. But that is this one here, that metallic gold. And that one is, so far, definitely one of my favorites. I have 4 in here that I really, 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 really love. And I will point those out to you once I am done. This is going to be a pretty fat swatch because it's down near my wrist. I want you guys to be able to see it. It is this color right here. Oh, do you see that shimmer and that shine? It's very metallic. It definitely is very like chrome looking, and it's just so pretty to me. It's kind of the gold I've been looking for, honestly. It's that like goldenrod gold instead of like just straight yellow gold. And while I do like yellow gold, this one is just like, it just looks so good on my skin tone. Now the bottom row, this is the purple row. It's not actually called that. That's what I'm calling it because if you look at it, they are all different shades of purple. But I really do like that because with these 3 shades, you could get an entire purple eye look without it just looking like one giant purple eye or even a black eye. She has the 3 different colors that you would really need to give that dimension to the eye, to really contour the eye and have this purple look very good. This one over here, this first purple one, is called Haunting. I skipped Sippy Sippy. This is one of the most important colors in the palette, and I almost just skipped it. I am sorry. Did not mean to disappoint you. This is Sippy Sippy. It is incredible. It's this beautiful, beautiful brown. It is the darkest and the most sparkly shade in her whole palette. It is just this brown with, can you see that reflex? It's just got so much gold shimmer to it. I used this, oh god, there goes my mascara. I used this out on the outer corner of my eye today and blended it up into the color next to it, Sassy Bun, that gold that I just showed you. And it really kind of defined and contoured my eye out. I do really like the way it looks. This one, at first, I was a little iffy about. I was like, it seems like it's going to be a little chunky, but it is not. It is so good. And especially with this brush they give you, because it's such a good packing brush. It's not very good for blending, like I said, but for just packing on straight color, it goes really well with this because of all those shimmers. You can see them all. This one is also incredibly pigmented. If you're going to have fallout from any of these, it's probably going to be this one. At least fallout of that shimmer. I definitely did a little bit today, but it is so worth it for that payoff. If I need any sort of dark brown shade, this is probably what I'm going to go for. It is just so delicious. This is another one of the fan favorites. A lot of people do love this one. Okay, now rewind / fast forward. Back down here, this is called Haunting. It is like a light, slightly lavender color, but with a lot of gray in it. It's definitely like a light gray lavender. She said she picked this because she felt like it was the color of a ghost's cloak. If a ghost had a cloak and it wasn't just white or invisible, this is the color she felt like it would be. I definitely think it's a very pretty color. I have been really into lavenders and purples lately. At first, I really didn't like them. I think just from my emo days at school when I wore nothing but like this color purple, maybe even darker than that, and that was it. It really turned me off to purple for a while. It just became that kind of color to me. But with all the different purples that I've been getting lately, and in all the different colors of purple, all these like nice lavenders and smoky purples, I definitely have been enjoying them a lot more again. That is this color right here. It's really nice. It's very like dusty pink purple. It does have a little bit of shine to it, but not as much as some of the other ones. This middle shade is called Uncommon. This is a beautiful, shimmery, smoky purple. It looks really, really, really good in between these other two purples when applied. It definitely complements the other two purples, so I'm going to squeeze it in between these two in the swatches as well, so you can kind of get the general idea. There it is, next to the Haunting. That was the first purple. That's the second purple. It's just, see how smoky it looks? It almost like is lavender smoke. I love it. You can just really, really, really blow the eye out with it. And then the last color in this palette is Man Cat. She called this one Man Cat because that was the name of her cat that passed away. This is a mysterious plum, as she puts it. She said there are always blacks in palettes. You get so many palettes that just have a black color. But it is pretty necessary for a lot of looks to have that really dark color that you can contour your eye with and that you can smoke the look out with. And so she wanted to do that and give you that color that gave you that ability, but also not just give you another black eyeshadow. And so that's why she did Man Cat, and it's like this super, super dark purple, like eggplant purple almost, that you can use for achieving the same effect as a black. It is very, very good for deepening your crease up. That is what I used it for today. There it is there. This one is also just incredibly smoky. Almost more so, honestly. Those are all of these swatches on my hand. I think they're gorgeous. They definitely go together very well, but you could also, like she said, wear them with other palettes and with different looks. Out of all of these, I think my 4 favorite products are Dogman, Sippy Sippy, which is the one I almost skipped, this brown with all of the gold shimmer, Sassy Bun, because I'm a sucker for gold, and this is like the most beautiful metallic goldenrod I've ever seen, and I don't know, I was thinking Uncommon, but after swatching, I think I'm gonna pick Man Cat, because while I did use it on my eyes a little bit today, I used it after all the other colors just to deepen up everything. So I didn't really get to experience what the actual color payoff was, but seeing it on my hand, it is just gorgeous. I did do my entire eye look with these today. That is how it turned out. I have actually never used Tarte eyeshadows before, and so I wasn't really sure what to expect. And when I opened the palette, they looked like they were going to be a little chunky, like they weren't as finely milled as they could be, but once I put it on and started blending, it actually really impressed me. They are very, very, very blendable. Probably more blendable than anything I have other than my ABH Modern Renaissance palette. They work together really, really well. You can just get this, and honestly, if you just need to bring this and like a lipstick with you, you could do that as long as you have everything else you need. This really can give you an endless amount of looks on your eyes. I mean, do you see all these different colors? You could pair even that and that look beautiful, and then the next day you could do this and this and this, and then the next day you could do this purples. They also give you all of these face products over here, so you can just bring this with you and not really have to worry about much else. That is it for this entire palette pageant review on the brand new Grav3yardgirl Swamp Queen Palette. I love it. I highly recommend it if you can get your hands on it. I know it is very difficult at this point, but if you can get your hands on it and you've been eyeing it, I definitely recommend it. I almost decided not to get it, and then I just really, really like took the time to look at it, and I was like, wow, I really can't live without that. Like, oh my gosh, those colors. Because at first I was just like, oh, like, yes, I love Bunny, yes, I love collabs, but $45 is not something I have to throw down right now, because I just had placed a giant order at Too Faced, but then the Becca and Jaclyn Hill palette went out of stock, and I was like, oh god, the Tarte one is going to too, I'm gonna miss my chance, I need to get this, I need to do a palette pageant review on it, oh my god. So I got it. I'm so happy I did. I have been posting little things about this, as well as other makeup products I am getting on my Snapchat. If you are interested in following me on there, I do post a lot on there. I talk about makeup a lot. I show sort of the inner workings of my life a lot. You can follow me there if you'd like. It is ZION, the same as Zion Aesthetic, just without the aesthetic, just Zion with 2 Z's. And I do update that a lot, like I said. I also have Facebook and Instagram. If you are interested in following either of those, you can go check them out. Those are Zion Aesthetic, same as it is here on YouTube, with 2 Z's. I will put all of those links in the description bar if you're interested in following any of those. I do post different material on each of those, so you will not be getting the same information if you do follow them all. I think that is all that I have to say about this palette. It's beautiful. Get it. It's awesome. Love you guys. Bye.